What's up, guys? Welcome back to Worth the Wait. I am your host, Cookie Miller, and in today's episode, we have a very special guest. So if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, you are seeing the beautiful, the lovely Dr. Ashley Devers. So Ashley is a chiropractor. She specifically is also a sports chiropractic practitioner, and she focuses on athletic recovery, prenatal care, and nutrition. So she is basically what we're all about here. She is Black girl magic. Okay, so welcome, Dr. Ashley, to Worth the Wait.
Awesome. Thank you. It's lovely being here. And like I was telling you earlier, I'm so proud of you and all that you're accomplishing, all that you've accomplished. So we are just making a huge impact in the city, and I'm so excited.
Thank you so much. I was just saying the same about you as well. It's funny because I know Ashley, so full disclosure here, we have met before. Maybe we can, before we talk about your story, we can kind of backtrack a little bit about how we have known each other.
Siobhan,
I don't know, Siobhan, but do you know that we knew each other before that?
Wait, really? I'm thinking it was through Siobhan. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm embarrassed.
So the crazy thing, okay, you guys know that early in my fitness career and after I lost the initial amount of weight, I was an instructor. So I taught body pump, I taught grit, and I worked at 24 Hour Fitness where Ashley used to attend. Yeah, girl. So she may have taken a few of my classes, and also we just had seen each other. I think did you take Colin's class back then? He taught body combat, or Nicola.
Maybe one time, but mainly we had like this whole workout like set up upstairs in like the basketball area. So
okay.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I saw her around the 24 Hour Fitness area. And so that was so cool. And then we were introduced by Dr. Siobhan LeBlanc, who is one of my dear, dear friends. And we went to a little concert together, and it was super cool. So this is my people, you know?
Yes. We have to meet up again though, just side note.
Yeah, we definitely do. One thing that I will say, of course, because you're going to tell us your story, but I remember watching you at 24. I watched you go through what I believe might have been your first show prep. I was so impressed. I was like, this girl is just like taking these classes with me, and or whatever, either with me or just seeing her around and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, like I watched her transform. So let's backtrack, and why don't you tell us your story? Who are you and how you got into fitness and now athletic recovery?
Okay. Well, I have been in the chiropractic industry for about 6 years. As far as health and fitness, man, that story is very long. So I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum. But in summary, I just am always looking for the next challenge. And but it all started actually when I was in like middle school, maybe like 6th grade. And my mother bought or won like raffle tickets to like a martial arts like demo or whatnot. And she was like, hey, I really want you to get in martial arts because I was raised around all my brothers and we used to fight all the time. So I learned how to fight through my brothers, but you don't have that. So I want you to learn how to fight. So if you ever need it, you can go ahead and, defend yourself and take care of everything. So I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up going through martial arts and all the way through middle school, all the way through high school, and ended up getting my black belt. And so when I left and I graduated, because I was, in Chicago, when I graduated, they were like, okay, don't forget your training. Guess the first thing I did when I left, I did not understand. I didn't do anything. So, when you're training 5-6 days out the week, your body's in shape. And so then when I went to undergrad, my body started doing the freshman 15. So I was like, yeah, this isn't what's up. So, so essentially that's where I kind of found, and so then the martial arts created that foundation that I needed in order to tell myself that, I can do this. I can, take care of my body. I had the empowerment through that to, hey, if I can get a black belt, then I can lift this weight. Little by little, we'll go up, but I can lift this weight. And so that really set the foundation for, my health and fitness, because not only are you working out in martial arts, but you're really paying attention to your elements as well, like your ability to control, your discipline, and how food really actually plays a huge portion of how your body responds and what you're able to do within a workout, right? So just imagine if you had a pizza before your workout as opposed to, a healthy meal. I'm not going to say a salad because, salads are overrated, but a healthier meal. A healthier meal. So I don't want to, ramble on, but I hope I answered your question.
Well, hold on, girl. You're a whole black belt. Like, can we just go back? I was so shocked. Was not expecting that at all. So your mom really kind of set you up to have this foundation of like fitness from a very young age, which is amazing that you have that. So what made you want to transition kind of from your own athletic journey into like helping other athletes now the way that you are?
I think that when I decided what I wanted to do in life as a career, I wanted to be a doctor because I knew that's just what I was good at, health, the science aspect. And not only did I want to be a doctor, but I didn't want to be those types of doctors that only had medication as a solution to health problems. And so I got my bachelor's degree in nutrition for that reason, because there's not a pre-med major. You actually have to have another major in order, to be a doctor. So that's one of the reasons why I got into nutrition, is because I know that there's a lot of different parts to your health, and it's not always trying to backtrack, or it's not always trying to help. Let's say you have diabetes. Okay, well, let me help you with your diabetes. No, let's see if we can prevent that from the beginning. And so I think that in assessing what I wanted to do and how I wanted to help people, it was just really wanting to help people before there was a problem. As far as health and fitness goes, I just like to work out. I like to be active. And so when I'm interacting with my patients, we can just identify on that level. And so that is what encourages me in the field. That's what keeps me motivated. And so it kind of naturally just spills out. And so with that natural feeling, I attract a lot of athletes. I attract not just like, athletics where you're going to go to the Olympics, but recreational athletes, people that are like me, that just like to work out. Like I've never tried to go to the Olympics. I have no desire. I've never had a desire to go to the Olympics. I just, sometimes it's just purely aesthetic. Like I just want to look good.
There we go.
I just want to look good. I want to be proud of myself. And and when I walk into a room, I want to have that, chest up because I like who I am. And I think on that note, I can identify with a lot of people and I can help a lot of people as well. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because for a lot of years, people would ask me, and I think I even may have done a YouTube video about it. I'm like, yeah, I lost weight for aesthetics. And people are just like, girl, you gonna say that? You're not gonna say like that.
You're actually gonna tell the truth? What?
No, I mean, that was the truth. That was the truth. I was diagnosed pre-diabetic and sadly, that wasn't enough to really push me. It was once I started to develop the acanthosis on my skin that I said, hold on now, not my face.
Not the face.
No, not the face.
Can I tell you a really quick story that
Please.
My godmother will never let me forget? She said I don't know how old I was. I was young. I had chicken pox and they were all over my face. And my mother and my godmother, they came to me and they're like, Ashley, why are you putting all these Band-Aids on your face? And I was like, I'm ugly.
Oh.
so not
gosh.
so not politically correct. It's not. But that's how I felt at the time as like a little kid. I was just like, I need to cover up my, because it's sometimes it's important for people.
Yeah. I mean, feeling confident in yourself and, your body and taking care of yourself, those are all things that make you feel confident. So I feel that for sure, because the way that I even got to that was I went to the dermatologist and I was like, help, I can't, no matter what scrub, I was using all types of stuff to try to get my face right, and luckily she was well informed, because she was like, you need to go and see your primary care and you need to have a blood test,
Beautiful.
And I was like, give me cream. Like, what are you talking about?
Absolutely.
So I feel you, girl. If I could have put Band-Aids all over my face, I might have done that too. For sure.
I don't even know how I found the Band-Aids or anything.
Right.
But yes, and water. Let me just throw that in there for anybody that wants any advice. Water is a huge component of keeping your skin clear. So if I'm ever dehydrated and I'm not drinking the water like I'm supposed to, or not even drinking water at all, because there are days where I barely get sips in, maybe with a meal in order to get the meal down. But there's days, and you can definitely see it in my skin. I start breaking out. I start, everything starts looking dry. So yes, drink your water, ladies.
Yes, and please. That's why I keep my water close by. I got my smoothie right here,
Yes, beautiful.
Because that's what it is. This is for real. You know what I'm saying? It's not a front, it's for real. And I take pride in that. I don't know about you, but I take pride in that people can just, you can pull up on me and you're going to find me with my smoothie in real life, not just on the gram. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about some of the issues that you see in your practice as a chiropractor. So what are some of the most common issues that you see? And then why do you think those are the most common issues?
So for me as a chiropractor, I see low back and neck pain. It's really simple why it's the most common issue, mainly because that's what people know chiropractic to be. You have a lot of people that understand that chiropractic has to deal with the entire musculoskeletal system. And so not only do we deal with low back and neck pain, but we also deal with anything that has a muscle or a joint. So it could be a shoulder, it could be an elbow, it could be, someone had numbness in their foot and they didn't know why. So we were able to help them with that. Sciatica, that's another very common one that chiropractors see as well. But sometimes it's just education, just letting people know, hey, we deal with multiple different areas. Like maybe about a month ago, I had several people coming in with jaw pain, and it's, TMJ, right? So that's a joint, and we as chiropractors can manipulate that joint. So we'll have some dentists that refer to us because their patients are having joint issues. So,
hey girl, I have to call you.
Yes.
I'm like, I gotta call you because I'm definitely I grind my teeth. So that
bruxism.
There we go. Help me out. That one. And I'm like, I would have never thought to call a chiropractor for that issue.
Yeah, because what you're doing is when you're grinding, you're contracting your muscles, the muscles in your face, and a lot of times when those muscles are contracted and in your grinding, they get tired. So you're wondering why you have pain like right around this area, and you're like, yeah, your muscles are tired. They've been working nonstop throughout the night.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm learning so much already. That is very helpful. So low back pain, that's something that I hear as well, as a trainer. On my end, I usually go for the core strengthening is usually what I'm leaning towards. So what is your approach as far as low back pain?
So low back pain can present because of multiple different reasons. One of the most common reasons is because of core weakness, right? So you have 7 different layers of muscle in your low back, 7. Yes, I said 7 different layers. Ooh. And so you have so those layers have different jobs. The ones that are closer to your spine, your core muscles, those are your marathon runners. So those are the ones that are being active or you're calling on all day to help you sit up, to help you stand, because if they weren't active, then you kind of fall to the ground. And so you're asking them to work hours at a time. If they're weak, eventually they're going to fail out and they're just going to stop working. And so what what happens when they stop working, your body naturally compensates because they say, hey, we have a job to do. We got to get it done by any means necessary. And so what happens is they actually start bringing or recruiting the superficial muscles, right? The ones that are closer to your skin. Now, those are the bodybuilding muscles, right? So they're designed to lift heavy weight for short periods of time. If they're asked to do weight of a marathon runner, have you ever seen a bodybuilder trying to run a marathon? It is not a pretty picture. They may get a good mile in, but after that they are toast. And so that's what happens with a lot of low back pain. People are having issues because they just have a weak core. Some low back pain can also be because of degeneration in the spine. And so that's basically your bone growing in areas that it's not supposed to grow into. That can be helped with a machine that we have called a decompression table. And so basically we open up the space so that your joints and your muscles and the nerves coming through your joints can actually breathe a little bit better. This is the last one, because like I told you, the list can go on and on, but another reason is a disc herniation. Disc herniations can cause low back pain as well. Discs are soft tissue, the pillows in between the bones of your spine. And sometimes they actually migrate in places that they're not supposed to. That could be because of a slip and fall. It could be because of a car accident. It could be because you don't have a trainer and you're trying to do a deadlift on your own and you're not paying attention to your form. I've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah.
And then you come in here saying, hey, I can't stand up. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds like you slipped your disc.
Right.
So yes, get a trainer. No.
Thank you, girl, for the advertisement.
I believe trainers are definitely needed because, we are all professionals in our field, and an accountant is not a trainer, right? So my sister in human resources, I can't expect her, if I tell her to go do a bicep curl, for her to know what she's doing because it's just not her expertise. Right. So I digress. I'm gonna come back to the original.
We can go off on so many tangents here for sure. Well, listen, thinking about like the need for a trainer for a lot of people, and also just working out in general, whether it's someone trying to do things on their own or doing beginner type stuff, what would you say, like, how would you rate the level of importance for recovery? So post-workout recovery, and what does that look like? What do you recommend to your patients?
All right. So when you are working out, you are tearing down your muscle to build it up. Okay, not only tearing down your muscle, but really tearing down your entire body. You're tearing down your muscle, your joints, right? You're challenging your joints. We like to say the word challenging. You're challenging your joints. Yes, and you're also improving blood flow because you're increasing the demand of the blood flow. But there's a lot of waste, also products that come from your muscles into your bloodstream that need to be filtered out. So when it comes to recovery, we're there to not only, so while your muscle is trying to recover from the actual workout, there's a scar tissue that's formed, right? And then also your joints get jammed. And so we're there to relieve the joints. We also do muscle recovery as well. So that increases your blood flow so that, like I said, that waste product that's stuck in your muscles can be filtered out. And then as your body's trying to recover and it lays down scar tissue, we help to mature the scar tissue, the type of scar tissue that's being laid down. We don't want that weak, inflexible scar tissue that makes you feel like an old woman. We want that, flexible and strong scar tissue that allows you to still maintain your range of motion while you're doing the exercise. So years down the line, you don't have knee pain, you don't have low back pain because you've been working out for years at a time. So you just want to make sure that you stay on top of, giving to your body as well as demanding from your body.
Gotcha. I think that one of the topics that has been debated a lot just in the fitness world in general is talking about like static stretching versus ballistic stretching and all of that. My stance is that I believe the muscles need to be warm. So I never advise my clients to static stretch. And of course, to the audience listening, static stretching is when you are holding the stretch for a long period of time, like 30 seconds or so. Usually you see somebody getting ready to run and they're like doing and I'm just like, no.
Oh yeah. And holding it for like 30 seconds and you're like, oh no.
Like, no. So what is your stance on that? And what would you say is the proper way to like prepare to actually warm up for an exercise?
Well, being in the medical arena, I try not to have opinions, but I try to base most of my suggestions off research. And what the research actually says is that whenever you're having a static hold, you're prolonging the stretching of your fibers. So your fibers are used to being in this position. So it's really hard for them to actually come back and to create the power of a contraction that a contraction will be able to do within the muscle fiber. And so you lose a lot of power that way. So it is suggested that yes, yoga is really good. Yoga is like before, but the ballistic stretching is going to be good because you get to warm up your muscles. You get to still stretch, but you're increasing your range of motion, but at the same time, you're able to keep the contractility of your muscles.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you pointed to research. We've got to do that because especially being on, online on social media these days, there are so many people who are just throwing out whatever information. So
yes. So what do you have that to back up?
Right.
Your opinion. Okay. So you thought about that last night and you want to tell me like I'm supposed to do it.
Exactly. Listen, that is why you guys have to follow people online who actually know what they're talking about, who are research-based, like Dr. Ashley, which of course we'll include all of her information in the show notes and she'll tell us about that as well. But make sure you're following people that are informed and not just influencers. I'm just saying. So what are 3 stretches or recovery methods that you think new or even aspiring athletes can start doing right now to improve their recovery time in between workouts?
I think a huge portion that we mentioned before are your core exercises. A lot of people feel, oh, well, I can get my core in during my squats, or, my core is still being engaged. No, you specifically need to target your core. You need to be able to make sure that your core is being challenged until burnout so that it's constantly being strengthened. So that's going to help your recovery because then you'll end up with less back pain. Right. Another stretch that you can do, it's called so there's a muscle in your glute. It's called the piriformis muscle. That is when people come to us and they say, hey, I have sciatica, I have pain shooting down my legs. And I'm like, okay, so do you stretch? Or I just put my thumb right in their glute and they just light up. And that's because their piriformis muscle is extremely tight. And so you can actually stretch your piriformis muscle while you're at work. All you have to do is cross your leg. I'm not in a position to show you, but maybe we can have some pictures or something.
Yeah.
But you'll do the piriformis stretch, and then hamstring sweeps are really good as well as for your dynamic stretching. So if you're thinking about static stretching is going to be really good, like if you're at the workplace or in the beginning of your day when you're not about to work out. And then the other thing is supplementation. I cannot express enough supplementation, putting those nutrients back into your body that you're asking from your body. So you want to make sure that you're not only eating. So a lot of meal plans, people say, okay, well, I have to get my carbs, my protein, and my fat, and I have to make sure that all of those are in sync. But then they forget about the vegetables. They forget about the fruit. Like, when was the last time you had a piece of fruit on a diet? Like, not all fruit is bad.
Right.
Yeah. So not only this, so you have the supplementation through your diet, and then you also have different supplements that are out there to help for your muscle recovery. A lot of proteins, amino acids. So I would definitely suggest that. And drink your water. Don't forget that. Push out all those toxins and waste that are, that Christmas food. Yeah, it's still probably in your muscle. Maybe not in your gut, but it's still in the muscle. So you got to filter it out. You have to push it out.
I did not know that.
Your muscle doesn't get to pick what types of nutrients it gets in order to engage in the activity that you're asking it to do. So you gotta. I mean,
listen, y'all hear that?
Yeah. It doesn't get to pick. So if you eat fries before your workout, that's why you feel it, because it's like, I can only do so much with these fries.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so interesting that you mentioned about the fruit. I have a couple ladies that started with me at the top of the year, and some of their exact feedback was like, wow, I've never dieted where I could have fruit. And I was
because everyone says fruit is bad because it has so many sugars, and I'm like, huh? And
like,
I put barbecue sauce in someone's meal plan, and they were like, I can't have that. It has sugar. And I said, you're thinking way too much.
Yeah.
This is why your meal plan lasts for 2 months and then you gain the weight right back, because you haven't figured out a balance. You talking to me about barbecue sauce? We just trying to keep you away from donuts.
Exactly right.
Put a little tablespoon of barbecue sauce on that food.
You're gonna be all right. Okay. And yeah, when you don't have the barbecue sauce, that's where you mess up, because you don't have it, and now you're eating this dry, bland, whatever food, and you're like, I can't keep doing this. Yeah, you can't. Like, you need a little bit of a mix, and I hate that fruit ever became like the target. I'm just like, fruit? Can we target McDonald's? Like,
Let me just say this.
Please.
Ladies, carbs are good. Carbs are good for you. Yes, everything in moderation, but you want to make sure that you're having carbs, because carbs fuel you. So you're not going to be able to get through a diet if you starve yourself. Not a workout. If you starve yourself all day and you are carb deprived. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But
no, please.
But people don't want to have fats. Fats is what gives you helps make your hormones. So if you're not, if you're having problem with your cycle because you're not having a lot of fat, because you're like, hey, I don't want to put that. There are healthy fats out there, and there's a lot of bad information out there. This is why you need a professional. This is all I'm saying.
Basically, yeah.
Because, a lot of times we just don't know what we don't know. And there's information that's put out there that we try to understand, but everything in its own context. So, yes, there are some fruits that have more sugar in them, and you have to take that into context. But like if you're talking about a grapefruit versus a pineapple, yes, the sugar level is going to be different. And the way that your body processes those different fruits are totally different. So I'm sorry. I hope I convinced you to get a health professional. If not me, it's someone.
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of information out there that people just don't understand. They don't know, and they want to lose the weight. And it's so good to see people lose the weight. But one of the good things that we have on, our plans is that our patients, they lose the weight and they keep it off. So it helps with the referrals. They don't come back to me, but
I love that. I mean, that says so much about your practice, that you are just getting referrals and not people coming back. I tell people when they come in, I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to be your coach forever. At some point you got to be able to I love you. You're real cool. Sometimes people stick around just to stick around, but I want you to be able to do this on your own. That's the thing. You have to be able to do this on your own. And it sounds like to me that you educate your patients to empower them to do it on their own.
Absolutely.
Okay, Dr. Ashley. So as a Black woman who is in the wellness industry, what type of resistance to treatment, if any, do you see, particularly with your Black female clients?
Just the lack of information, mainly. A lot of Black women, they see chiropractors and they see what they see on like YouTube and TikTok, and they're like, I don't want that done to my neck. And so not really understanding the benefits that are involved. And some people will actually come to the clinic and they're like, I just want to get an adjustment one time so I can understand how it feels. And I'm like, it's not about how it feels. It's about the benefits of having mobile joints. It's about the benefits of having your nervous system clear so that there's no interference from your head to your foot, right? So, or from your head to your heart, from your head to your gut. All that plays a role within your nervous system. And so sometimes it's just the information, understanding the power of chiropractic and what we actually do in a profession is what really, just turns people off, because they just think that we're just about cracking necks. And while it's included, it's not, the only thing.
Yeah. I think TikTok has maybe done a bit of a disservice to your industry. with some of the crazy stuff that's going around. But this is very helpful and very informative. And I'm going to be calling you, girl, because I'm like, hold on, we got to get this issue right here fixed out.
Situated.
I had no idea. So tell us where we can find you, how we can follow you, how we can schedule an appointment. I'm serious too, because this is for me. So.
Yes. So the name of the clinic is called the Body Max Chiropractic and Nutrition. We're located in Pearland, Texas. And so you can call us or look at us up on the website at www.thebodymax.com. Our phone number is 832-940-9892. And then you can also follow us on social media platforms at Dr. Ashley Devers, at The Body Max, at Dr. Deshaun Kennedy. There's also another chiropractor, Black female chiropractor here as well. So, but if you follow at The Body Max, then you'll be able to find us there as well. So. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ashley. This has been a pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time to share with us. Like I said before, you are just Black girl magic, all of it. I'm so proud of you. Like I said, I've seen you from 24 Hour Fitness when we were working out together from afar, and I admired your journey. And then meeting you through Dr. Siobhan was just amazing. So thank you so much, and I'm wishing you all of the success in 2022.
Super excited. You too. Have a happy 2022.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys. Thank y'all for listening to this episode of Worth the Wait. Remember, if this episode or any of our episodes have helped you, please consider leaving us a 5-star review, and we will see you. Well, I will see you. Dr. Ashley, she'll have to come back for a part 2, but I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.